Hey guys, it's Michelle with Kashelle Creations. Welcome back to my channel. Hopefully this video followed my small scrapbooking haul that I shared with you on Halloween Day. Happy Halloween if you're watching. I want to transform this white box into a Wicked boo box kind of concept because I want to store all of the items that I've been sharing with you that I've been making for Wicked for my in-person swap box. And so I was thinking going with a white palette of a box would actually work with what I want to work with. So if you've been following me along, I shared with you last year how I made this Wicked tote bag, and this year figured out I'm going to use it. And by using it, I am going to put this cute junk journal that I made of Wicked that I shared with you in the last couple of days. And so why not carry that whole concept through into a box? So I thought it would be kind of cool to kind of mimic the same kind of concept as doing that I did inside the box and in here, and kind of make everything like blend together. So my thought is, why not create something like that? So we're gonna go ahead and I am just gonna share with you all the tools through the process that I have here. So this white box is a photo box that I picked up from Michael's. I believe it was on sale for like $3, if I can speak correctly. And I also picked up some fun ribbon that was in their Halloween section that was on sale. Okay, Michelle. Having a little mishap here. So this ribbon I picked up from Michael's recently for 2025's Halloween ribbon, and I thought it was just so pretty. And then I do have leftover of the glitter green and pink that I've been using. It kind of gives you that watermelon color concept, but using those colors for Wicked. This is the collection pack that I'm using, that I think I purchased this about 2 years ago from Michael's during a clearance run that they had. But in case it's out there in the world, you at least have an idea of what it looks like. It was 25 pages and it had all of these patterns on the front, and it was for $10, but I think I only paid $1 because it was a weird sale that they had. So my thought was, I pulled 2 sheets out. Hopefully that's all we need. And my thought was to kind of do the same concept on the top and on the sides. So we're going to go ahead and this is going to be an interesting project to figure out how we're going to use this. Let's work on the top surface first. I feel like that's going to be the best option. And I'm going to think to myself, if we're looking at it from the top, one side is going to have the green, one side's going to have the pink, because again, we're slicing it down the middle. And I feel like we need to figure out which way we're going to go. So I don't think it really matters because we're going to use the other side. Or it doesn't matter. It does matter. So what side we had? What side did we do what? Because this one I did a little differently. I did green in the middle and pink was all around because of the way I wanted it to show. But the inside of here pretty much had the break like that. So I think what I did was I only cut one of them. So we'll just do this since we already started. So I'm having this go down like this, and we're just going to, because it has a white core, so that's where I'm kind of like thinking in my head, what did I want to accomplish? And so again, okay, so we have now our green. So I'm just gonna have, can we go all the way around? Ooh, we can wrap it. Oh, perfect. Okay. So I guess the question is going to be, we're gonna need a bone folder, which I believe I packed because I'm filming this before my retreat and I shouldn't have done that. But we're just going to improvise. And so what we're gonna do as well is measure. Now this might be a long video, guys, so please bear with me. I do apologize in advance, but you can fast forward me. So we're looking at about 1.5 inches but we want to go a notch up because we want to take that into consideration of the score. So here we are gonna go 1.5, and then I want to go 1 notch over. So I'm gonna use this little tool that I have for flowers and just go right down the middle, and I'm going to bend. So I don't want to put too much pressure on it. And so now we're gonna see if that works. Okay, so like I said, that was like 1 and then 1.5 and then 1 notch over that. So then we have this, and now we're gonna come down. So what I'm gonna do is kind of give myself another crease and figure out where that's placed at. It's kind of hard when you do white here. And then we're gonna go down. You probably can see it better than when it was glittery. And so we're gonna dry fit it before we make any cuts. So I'm not seeing anything break yet. So we obviously are gonna need a piece here, but we're just gonna put a piece there. So let's see. It looks like it needed a little bit more. Probably should have measured it. Let's go here. All right, so I'm kind of massaging that one out and going down 1 notch. With the glitter being there, hopefully no one can see that situation. So now we're going to line it up better, and I think that has a better avenue. So now we're gonna cut from that score line, the second one, and we're gonna go to that 1.5. I'd rather have more than not enough, so let's cross our fingers that it works, but if not, we just pivot. Okay, so this is where it's going to land, and it's a little bit, it's like a hairline more. So let's go ahead and shave off a hairline, and then hope that that's no more than what we needed. And then I'm gonna dry fit it. So yes, I believe it is dry fit. Now before we put this down, I want to get the pink one sized. So now that we have the measurements, now what we're gonna do is we are going to, I feel like I need more of a table spot and I don't have enough space. So now what we're gonna do is we are going to measure this all the way across because we need to know our width. So it is about 11.25 more-ish, more. So if that's 11.25, we have on here already so I want to figure out where the shortest point is, which I think is right here. So we need to have 6 inches, which is perfect. So let's cut 6 inches all the way down, because that will be the space we need, because we're gonna put the pink down first. So it will sit under here like this. So we only had to cut 1 break, as you can see, okay? So now the next thing we're gonna do is we are going to do the measurements, which we did say the first fold was going to be 1.5-ish, which I think that's what we did. So we are here, and that was our first fold. So we have that down, and And then we want to do our next fold. So to do that, we're gonna now measure how long before we did our second fold. So if I put this down here and I put this out, it's about 7 7/8 in width. So let's do 7 7/8 and see where that takes us. So if we're like right here, we'll do exactly 7 7/8. So I'm gonna do 7 7/8. I'm just gonna score once and see how that goes. It looks like it's too long. So I'm gonna come in 1 notch because I think that's what we needed. Oh, in 1 notch, Michelle, in 1 notch. And I'm gonna do another score, and I think that's the one we need. So now I put this down. And I'm going to press it and get that fold in there. And then we have 1.5 and then 1 notch. So I'm gonna go right there, slice it down. And I went too short, or I went too, oh, I did it perfect. Awesome. Okay, so now we're still gonna have this part here. I feel like this material is probably gonna cover the sides, but I do obviously wanna have something there. So my question is, I guess it wouldn't really matter that we did the sides, huh, Michelle? I think we need to do them. Okay, so before we put this down, I'm thinking that we might want to have the sides on here. When you do stuff that's not pre-done, it's kind of like you're mind-boggling in your head, like different options. So if we do this, will you see the white is my question. Because if all I need is this one little strip and then I put this here, are you gonna see the white? Or are we gonna butt it up where you're not gonna see the white? I can't make this work. So let's just do a slice. Oh look, we have 1.5 here. No, we don't. Yes, we do. Let's just do this. So if we have this up to here and we dry fit it, and then we put this here, you're gonna see it. So we need to have a little lip in. That's what I was trying to figure out. So if we have, we're gonna need a 1/2 inch all the way around. So we have here is again 1.5, which is all the way around. And then we want to do 2 inches. Let's cut 2 inches. 2 inches, 2 inches. Okay. And then we're going to score at 1/2 inch. But we also need to know how long is this. So the width here is going to be, let's say it's 7 7/8, and then we need 1/2 inch on each side, so we need 9. So let's do 9. And now we're going to score at, where is that little, because we need that little overhang. So this is going to be our score to overhang. Okay, so we need to fold that up. And I know this is probably not something that you guys may want to learn, but I feel like it would be kind of fun to do if you just want to create your own box. So I think it was like right here was the first notch, and we want to do 9. So let's go. Let's do this one as our first. Okay, and then we do that. We need to miter this little thing here. If we do that, then you're gonna see the white. So we need to do a square. Are you gonna see the white? No, because it's gonna be covered. But I'm not gonna do too much. So I'm just tapering a little bit off just to alleviate that bulk. All right, so we are going to put these two here, and then we're gonna go all the way around. I know this is not easy for you guys to see visually on camera. So if we have that folded down, I think it was this little notch here is what had, so it was at 7 7/8, but 1 notch down. I don't know what that 16th measurement is, so I'm just gonna score that and dry fit it before we do any cutting. Okay, so that is fitting nicely. So I'm gonna go ahead and take off that little bit, and we're just gonna put this down first just to see how it works. Actually, no, we need to do the other side. Ha ha ha. Ah, don't you like how I am laughing at myself here? Okay, where's the other green piece? So we did quickly 2 and 9. So we have 2, and then we have 9. And then we are going to go to the 1 1/2 and then a notch. And then I'm going to score. And then the first one I did was what? Right up to that. It's always good to have another sample, right, to do that with. Okay, so we did that side, and then we're gonna do this side. So this side was shorter, so we did exactly 1/2 inch. And I'm now seeing that my tabletop is all glittery, so I guess this glitter just come off somehow. So let's see if this is exactly the same as the other one, just on different angles. And it is. We're just gonna snip so we can get the top of the box on. So I'm gonna be using liquid adhesive, and we need to clear off the table so we have space. All right, so we're gonna put down these sides first, and we're gonna dry fit the green to make sure that it works, because we didn't do that yet. All right, so the green is going to adhere perfectly. So I think what I'm gonna do on the inside is I'm gonna use, of course I packed everything. I'm going to use the tape. Let me go get my tape, hold on. All right, I knew exactly where the tape was. I just had to get it. I should have not packed anything until I was done with my videos, but you know, that's just, I guess, the way we work sometimes. So I'm only going to adhere these down in the middle. I'm going to glue the rest of it. I mainly want to just make sure that it doesn't come undone. And I'm hoping that packing it is going to be where I need it to not get smushed. That's going to be my biggest challenge because I'm taking it on a plane. But, you know, it is what it is, kind of thing. All right, so all of this is going to go like so. And I hope you guys can see that. So let's go ahead. I didn't bring my pokey tool. Let's go ahead and take all of this off. And take out the glue. And we are going to lather it up. Okay, so now we are going to put it up against it, and then put it down. So basically we now have one side that's going to be green, and now we're going to do the other side that's going to be pink. So let's do the inside as well. And I think having both concepts of the double-sided adhesive and then the liquid glue, one, it kind of helps put you where you need to be quickly, which is the double-sided adhesive, and then the liquid glue kind of allows you movement if you're gonna put both on top of each other. You know, every project is different in regards to, do you need them both? So you really have to figure out what works for you in regards to your makes, because sometimes I just use one versus the other. And again, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to pick off the tape and then add the liquid glue to the sides, because I think that's going to be enough, which I already see I need to press down and let it sit for a bit. Okay, so I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to butt it up to it, and then basically just making it work. I see here on this side and on the other side it came up, so I'm gonna have to put it down again. So on this side, add some more glue and just hold it down for a few minutes. So we're probably gonna do the same thing on this. So I think the pink is going down first because it has a straight edge. So we definitely want to make sure that all of this is down good. And not like I want to use my double-sided adhesive, because you know it is a little pricey and in purpose, but I feel like the person receiving this might not just put this in the garbage because we're at a crafting event. So I'm going to use the good stuff, and I'm going to use double-sided adhesive on all of this because I feel like it will stay down better. So we're just gonna go for it. I wasn't sure that I was going to do this, but I think it will be better and quicker. And, you know, sales are right around the corner, so. I am just basically taking my double-sided adhesive and then putting it down. When I get to bigger sections like this, smaller sections like this, I try to use smaller widths, but sometimes you don't have something exactly for that section, and then you gotta tailor it down. And that little piece there, let's see if I just use this, because it was kind of like wonky in its gapping. So we're just going to just put tape down. And then what we're going to do is we are going to peel it up and then put it down first on the pink side. So I'm just making sure it's all good. And I want to make sure all of this is good before I put the pink. And again, it's going to go like this once we take off the tape. So we are going to take all of this off. What you want to make sure when you take off double-sided adhesive, the backing of it, when you do have overhang of your glue, you definitely want to fold it in. And I'm having a very hard time with this one here. Come on. It does not want to come up. There we go. So here we have overhang. I want to push that up because I don't want that to get sticky on the outside. So I'm just going to make sure that all of that is not on the outside. So here is the trick. Oh, there are my fingerprints for evidence. I'm gonna put some liquid adhesive on top to kind of give me some wiggle room, because I have no idea to know if we're gonna get it on the right way. And I think this is like a one and done situation. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna go, hopefully you guys can see this. I'm gonna go to my edge. You can kind of see my creases there. So I'm gonna go to my edge. And I have no wiggle room, so it is what it is. And that's it. So here I'm probably gonna have to either cut or fold down. Let's see if it folds down, because it is a little sticky. Okay, so you basically see that, and I'm glad we did the cuffing, because you see how you can kind of see a little bit of that. So now we're going to take the green and we are going to do the exact same thing, and now we have that fun little thing there. So we're going to do the exact same thing with the double-sided tape. And here we go. And obviously once you put it down, because it's paper, it's down. So I already did it sideways. You can see that. And we're just going to go with it. So try to do this one where it's not sideways would be great. And this one's going to have a weird funky edge thing, which I probably should have started on that side, but we're just going to take the 1/2 inch one, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the smallest point, which is here, and just use that one, and then we're gonna fill the rest in with liquid glue. And I'm probably sure we're gonna have to put some underneath it because it'll be a while. All right, so we're gonna do the exact same thing to the other side. Let me try to get these creases, bubbles out, and because I was a dodo bird and made those mistakes. So I'm gonna pull all this paper off. I really need my pokey tool. All right. Oh my gosh. Mental note, don't pack before you're done with your videos. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing that I did with the other one, but I'm gonna be very generous on the edge, because again, we wanna make sure that all of that is put down and doesn't bubble up. And then in the little crevice, and then all this, we want to have some glue, even though it didn't really do much to the other one. And then the main thing we want to make sure is we're going in the right direction. So again, I have my crease, and we are going to try to line it up as best as possible to the edge. And I'm just going to commit. I'm just gonna commit. So there we go, guys. We have the top of our box all beautiful. I will see if those can be curled. I don't think so, but we'll just use it. And then the same thing with these, because I think I did a little bit too long, but just like a smidge. But other than that, we have our top. Now, look how pretty. I made this out of my Cricut machine. I don't remember the font name, but if you want the font name, I will put it in the description box below. I did get the font from Creative Fabrica, or Fabrica, however you pronounce it. I think this needs to be popped up. And guess what I have? My bag of Pop Dots. So I feel like this needs to be popped up, elevated. So let's go ahead and do that. But you know what? I'm going to get a different one. Hold on. All right. I have this big giant roll that I've been using to wean it down. And I think we are going to use this because I can just use one whole thing. And if you hear a little kitty cat crying, that's my little one outside because she wants in, but she gets in everything. So she's not allowed in when I film. All right, so let's do that there. We'll have to do a thinner one here. And then another one. And I think we need a little tiny one there. I just put things on top of things. So now we come here, and I think that kind of like, it's not too high, but I think it's a good thickness. So hopefully you guys, I think it looks so cool. So we're gonna go ahead and put this on top. We're just gonna commit, right? And I was trying to look for another glitter color, but I felt like too much glitter would just be too much. So I'm gonna go ahead and stand for a quick second and kind of like figure out. I think right there is perfect. All right, guys, so we are done with the top for right now because we still have to do that thing all the way around. All right, and the next thing we're gonna do is this. Now, I don't think I can take this off. Can I take this off? I don't think you can take this off. I don't know how to take it off. I guess I should have looked into that, huh? I think it's permanently on there, so we're just gonna have to work with it. It's gonna be covered. Nothing more I can say. It would be cool if I could take it off, but I don't think. I'm afraid if I pull too much, I will break the box, and then we're back to square one again. All right, we'll just have to do with what we can. Okay, so we have the box top on. All right, and then I want to carry the same flow all the way through the sides. So the question's going to be is, how are we going to do that? I really think I'm just gonna have to do two sides with the cut mark. And if I use this piece, this is not in the right direction. So I need for it to be in this upright direction. But let's see how we do this. So I'm gonna pull like this because I want to use the smallest portion. Obviously, you don't need to do the whole tearing thing if that's not what you're going for, but I just want to make it so you're getting the same concept of the green. So it's still going, the tear pattern is going all the way down. So now we're going to take the top off because we don't need that on there. And now we are going to do the same thing. So we're going to do 6 inches for the pink. Let's make that simple. Can we reuse this? No, that's not the right. All right. So let's do 6 inches. Save this for later. I have so much on my desk, guys. It's all garbage. All right, so 6, save that for later. This one we are going to now cut down. So we have 6 inches across, and now what does our height need to be? We don't need to do a fold down, so we need it to be exact. So I want to say it's 4 3/8. So let's do 4 3/8 and see what that gets us. That's 3/8. Let's just do 1 notch up just in case and see. So it is exactly what I thought. Sometimes you never know when you, what, I think it's right, the notch below. Okay, so that is what we need. So this is still 6 inches. Okay, so we want 4 3/8 and a notch below that. And that's gonna be for the other side, right? And then we're gonna need this to be covered with overhang. So we need to have 4 3/8. I'm gonna go to 3/8 this time because I feel like I went too short on the other ones. So 4 3/8. And now we need the width of this one, and the width is 7 5/8, but we want an overhang, so we want 8 1/2. So 8 1/2, I'm gonna cut it, and now we're gonna score. So we're gonna give ourselves 1/2 inch on the side. And again, I want this to kind of wrap because I want to avoid that white. That's going to give me how much on this side? Because I have that little tool there. So it's like, I wish there was a way to take that thing off. Let's see what this one looks like. So that works. Now the question is, can I cut an opening for it? Oh, Michelle, why do you have to think outside the box? I don't know. I think I'm just going to cover it. I think I'm going to cover it. All right, so now let's do the other side. So that's for that side. We're going to flip it over for the green. Let's remember it's the green. And then we have this piece. So we need the height to be, 4 3/8. I'm trying to think outside the box here. But we don't need it more than 6 inches, right? So let's shave down. Let's just go 6 1/4. Just to have space. So that's going to be that side and then the other side. So now we need to shave this down to 4 3/8. So if we do a dry fit to make sure before we cut the other one. what we're gonna do is we're gonna have the pink on first, and then we are going to tag on the green. So that fits perfectly. The question is, with the box, does that fit perfectly? I might have to shave the green off because I want it to work seamlessly. So we'll deal with that next, but let's get another piece cut. That's you know what, no, let's do this. Okay, so we have the pink under here, and then we need the green under here. Oh my gosh, I'm almost there. Perfect. Okay, so if we put the green exactly as is, that doesn't look too bad, but I feel like it needs a slight sliver. Let's do a slight sliver. Should we do another sliver? I think we should. I mean, it kind of looks like it matches up. Okay, so we're just gonna leave that there for right now because we're not gonna glue it. Then we have to remember the pink goes on this side. So again, let's get that under. And then we're gonna put the green. So, oh, I have to. We're just gonna cut. We're just gonna cut, guys. All right, so we need 4 1/4. No, oh my gosh, 4 3/8. Okay, let's see how this looks. We gotta shave it off, at least. Oh my gosh, that's perfect. Okay, so we have that. So now we gotta just do the side in green, and then we're almost done, guys. Okay, so now we need to do this side. So I'm gonna take the top off again. We're gonna put all these down on the sides that they're on, because that way we know what side belongs to what. And now we're gonna do this on this side. So what did we say before? I can't remember. Let me get this one out. We did the 4 3/8 in height. Okay, 4 3/8. Got that done. And then we did the length. I think we did, oh, we did 8 1/2. So let's get that. 8 1/2. All right, and then we did our scoring. But remember, this scoring is going to be a little different because we don't have that little bumpy bump thing. So I'm going to first do 1/2 inch on one side, and then kind of like dry fit to the other, because, you know, we do have that little curve that's going on. So if we go straight and I just bend it, kind of helps me figure out where the little notch is. And then taking our scoring tool, all right, I think it's gonna work. Okay, so this is the green side. Let's do this first. I'm gonna move all this other stuff out. And we're gonna do the exact same thing as we did with the top. All right, so I'm going to keep everything. The trick is now making sure everything is where it needs to stay, so that way the assembly moves faster. So I thought this was gonna take longer than expected, so I'm really glad that this is working out better than I expected. But thank you for your patience. Sometimes when I'm working on new projects, I don't really have a game plan until I'm working the project. So I'm sure I'm not the only one alone doing that kind of stuff. But whenever I have excess tape like this, I pretty much just kind of like go along the edge of the project and go as far as I can. I take my finger and I kind of just pull it back so it's kind of like that, and then it just helps so it doesn't get stuck. on it. And so that is done. And this will live somewhere until I use it. I usually put it on my tape dispenser, but we're still using the tape. Okay, so this is gonna be for the other side, and this is gonna be for this side. So I don't think that's gonna work. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and take the tape off. I probably should have gotten my tweezers, didn't think about it. I made these, I should use them, right? Okay. So I'm gonna crease it on the sides. Don't fold it yet because then you're folding the thing in. And getting all that excess tape. I didn't put any other liquid adhesive on here, so again, I'm just winging it. I'm gonna butt it up at the bottom to where I need it and then come up, but I want it, probably should have done this upside down, but I want it at the top to be solid. And then I'm going to press it down and then press it over and then press it over. Now remember, we gotta do the pink on first before the green. So now we're gonna switch it to the other side because this is gonna be a problem. Hopefully not too much of one, but it is going to be a hurdle to get over. So let's get this started. So I'm gonna go up to the edge and go down. And then get the next one, do the same thing. Okay, and then we're gonna take off that extra tape. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure that that's all good, and then those pokey tools are cute. I gotta make more of those. Okay, I'm gonna fold it over and we're gonna do the exact same step as we did before. So I'm gonna butt it up against the bottom here to just get my things in line. And then I'm gonna come up and meet it at the top. All right, and I really wanna make sure the top is down. And this is gonna be more of my massaging. In place. So make sure, well, it doesn't look terrible. I guess if the person wanted to, they could cut it out, but that way it's good. All right, so we got our two sides on here. So now we're gonna put the pink, but remember we had them like this. All right, so let's do this side first. So this pink is gonna go here, and then this green is gonna go here. Okay, so I think we're gonna do the same concept. We're gonna put the glue, the double-sided adhesive on here. And I think that's gonna work best. And I just gotta get more glue. You gotta use the stuff, right? And then we have the overhang here. I know there's non-stick tape out there, but let's just use the rest of the tape since it's the same width on this one. And see if I can use up all that other tape that I had lying around. And this one, I'm just gonna continue with this. Why not? It'll be easier. So, are you guys having any plans for Halloween night? Are you guys doing anything if this is when you're watching it? For the fact that it's on a Friday, I typically wanted to do Halloween Horror Nights here in Orlando, Florida, but we did it earlier in the year. And so, we did it early in the season. So we already did it in September. We had a really good time. Some of the houses were good, but to be honest with you, it wasn't as memorable as previous years. But Five Nights at Freddy's was a really good house, along with Jason and the Terrifier. But the other ones were like, they're okay. But I typically just pass out candy to neighborhood kids, and then once the candy's out, I just call it a night. And I pretty much just have like pizza and watch Halloween movies. So this is on that side, and then this one over here. So that's typically what I do on my Halloween nights. My daughter and her boyfriend, they typically hang out with their friends, whether they're here at the house or out doing adult things at their age. But it's pretty much low-key, nothing major. Of course, the dog barking 24/7 because all the strangers are coming to the door. That part is not fun, but yeah. So I do enjoy seeing all the neighborhood kids dress up in their cute little costumes. I had one time this kid, his parents created a Transformer option out of a box, and he actually transformed into a Transformer. I thought it was pretty freaking cool. Like, I can't believe you had the time to do that. And he was really into it. I was just like really impressed. So that was one for the books for sure. So I'm going to go ahead and put all the sides. So let's see. Here are the pink ones. But I love seeing I do love seeing how many characters I come across. I'm sure Demon Hunters is going to be a big thing this year. But I love seeing the originals, the OG costumes as well. And it's just fun just seeing all the kids be happy. And I don't mind adult trick-or-treaters at all. There's no age limit on trick-or-treating, in my opinion. So, you know, if you have an older child who's in high school and you're like, Mom, that's kind of weird. Well, that's your personal opinion, but I condone it. I allow it. I even tell the parents with the kids in the strollers, here, you want one too? And they're like, no, no, no. I'm like, yes, 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 because why not? Plus, it gives me an excuse to get rid of the candy quicker. I don't know about you, but sometimes I just want to be in for the night. In Florida, there's mosquitoes everywhere at certain times of the hour, and it's just like a nuisance. I think the mosquitoes think it's their turn to trick or treat and obtain our blood in the process, and no thank you. All right, so we're going to do this side, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to butt it up to the side and the top. To get that on there, and again push down. Oh my gosh, guys, this is coming out so freaking cute. All right, so let's do this other side. We just have one more to glue up, and then just adhere the ruffle along the side, and I hope it comes out as cute as I think it's gonna come out. But I don't know even if we should do the ruffle, but I think it will be cute. I guess it's a question of ruffle or no ruffle. All right, so we're almost done. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. so we're gonna put that down. We are gonna take this off, add the little bit of glue we have down on the sides, and then see what we're looking at. So if you're not one to celebrate Halloween, do you do anything else on this night, or do you just turn your lights off? Oh my gosh, guys, we can't do that one first. Do you turn your lights off, or do you do something else, like go out to dinner or a movie? I'm just kind of curious. I was brought up on Halloween more for the fun of it, nothing demonic at all. It's all out of good fun. So that was my childhood, so I know no different. So I'm kind of curious to always hear what other people do, no different than, the holiday season's coming for Thanksgiving and Christmas. What do you guys do? So to me, it's just more of curiosity than anything else, to know how others that don't celebrate it celebrate the situation of others celebrating it. What they do with their pastime. All right, so we're going to put the pink one down first, if we can get some glue out. I just want to make sure I get that little gap there. And we are going to do it on the right side, not the left. So we are going to do the same thing, go up to the corner and butt it up and go down. And then on the opposite side, our glue is still good. So I'm just going to butt up to the left side this time. And it's down. I think it was up too high. All right, so now is the moment of truth. Guys, OMG. I don't think I want to put anything around it. I don't think we're going to put anything around it. I like it the way it is. Okay, so here's how it's gonna go down. In the last, I don't know where I lost my pen. The last couple of, what do you want to call them? Videos, I've shown you some of the things that I've made with this. So if you've missed them, I'm gonna show you what we did, because we're gonna do the whole thing right now at the end of the video. So here's my box that I am going to do for Wicked. And this is gonna be purposely for an in-person retreat in Texas that by this time I've already attended, because this video is being created way before the event. And I participated in a Boo Box swap. So I basically give my item, and then I get a ticket, and then it's kind of like what they explained, the White Elephant, where all the items are on the table and then people just choose a box. So no one's gonna know what's in here, but they're gonna obviously see the decoration, and I think anyone would be kind of curious. So opening the box, you're now gonna see all the stuff that we're gonna put inside. So I'm gonna kind of put this off to the side for now. So what I made during this month, showed you how I made it, the tote bag. Okay, so the tote bag has the Good with Galinda on one side, and then Wicked with Elphaba on the other. So I'm gonna go ahead and I guess kind of fold that in a way that it kind of is viewable. And we are going to put that in the thing. So I need to make sure I have space for everything. The next thing I wanted to show you was the tumbler that we made. So the tumbler we made together is this one here. It has all the items from Wicked on here. So this is going to be inside the box as well. So again, we're going to put it back in the box. And this does come with a straw. So it's a glass straw, which is this one. So we're gonna put that there, and I think this is gonna fit perfectly right there. Okay. Then the next thing we have is the t-shirt. So the t-shirt I made, I haven't put my label on it. So usually I put a label with like just instructions on how to create it. So I'm not create it, how to wash it. And it's quick and easy. So I just feed this through, put the light bulb pin on it, which is why I have so many of them. And then I just twine it a couple of times. And then snip off the excess because now it's all gummed up with adhesive. And then I pretty much put it here. Now I did do an extra large shirt because I felt like that was maybe a basic size. And I pretty much pin it to the tag. That way nothing is damaging the shirt. And what we're gonna do, because now it has glitter on it, Michelle, is we're going to kind of like fold it, I guess, in a way where it fits in there. Okay. Now the next thing we need to do is the creme de la creme, and that is this junk journal, which pretty much took up the most of everything of this month. I think there was like 5 videos or something like that. So this is going in here, so I want to make sure it fits, and it's gonna live in here. But I also have all the additional goodie bags, so we need to make sure this also has a place. So maybe that at the bottom, because it's a little tall, maybe that goes, let's see if that goes sideways. So I want to make sure nothing is, maybe I'll put this in here. No, like that. All right, and now we close it. So so the value is supposed to be $25 or more, and it could be either purchased or handmade. And oh my gosh, I'm like so excited. I hope the person opens it at the event. Oh, and I need to put business cards in, only because you never know, maybe she wants to the person receiving it wants to contact me or whatever, but I don't know where to put this. I'll probably put it in the bag, but I'll put it in the bag. So let me know your thoughts. What do you think about the box? That's really the whole point of this tutorial, but I'm really curious to know your thoughts. I've never decorated a box like this before, and will I do one again? Yes, you better betcha I would. So you can kind of see, I just love how this all came out. It really does look like it's all one seamless pattern. You can kind of see a little bit of the bulk there of that little thing. But I am like so excited, and I'll just use this on another make, but I think putting this around the sides might take away from the glitz and glam of it all. But I only used 2 12x12 sheets of cardstock paper for this project in the manner that I did it. So if this is something you're interested in and you're doing a solid color, then think about you need 4 sheets. I do have obviously a lot left over, so maybe 3 sheets, but just kind of keep in mind, you know, how I worked it. So thank you guys for hanging out with me. If you have any questions, by all means, please let me know. I'm like so excited, and I will see you in the next video, and have a great Halloween night if you're still watching this on Halloween day. If not, I hope you have a good holiday season in whole. So see you then. Take care. Bye.